Hi. Sorry. This is Lauren Mayo. How are you?
I'm good, Lauren. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to turn it up a little bit. But yeah, I can hear you.
I can turn mine up too. Is that better?
Yes, that is. Thank you.
You're welcome, of course. Thank you.
Hey. So I'm calling to speak with you on behalf of Her Agenda. I'm really excited because Misha, is in love with you. So
well, she's one of my teams, so I'm also in love with her.
Yep, she has said. So I'm excited she's trusted me with this task.
Awesome.
Yep. So I'll get to it quick. I'm sure you don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to start by saying congrats on the premiere of your show. Now, I guess last month because it's December now, which is crazy.
It's true. I know. Time flies, huh?
Yeah. But I was just curious, what are your first impressions and your thought on some of the feedback that you've received on the show?
Well, the feedback actually was really positive. It was a very fun experience overall. It was one of my most fun experiences financially shooting the show. But the feedback has been great. I think it really did open up people's eyes to a world that we don't know about in window dressing. Actually, today in the New York Times, there's a story about the windows at Bergdorf. So I think it's very timely and apropos. And, sure, it takes time to build, but will in some ways be almost like a Project Runway and Shark Tank for the understanding around the industry that is window dressing, because we're all affected by retail and commerce, right? So people look at windows but to really understand what goes into it from a design perspective, from an artistic perspective, from a style perspective, are areas that people know about.
Okay, thank you. And I know that you said the Project Runway and Shark Tank, and I saw that you said that in the interview with the Griot as well. And I think you said it was a dash of Big Brother.
Hi, it's Lisa. I'm just making sure everything's going well. I'll hang back on mute.
Oh, no worries. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good.
Thanks, Lisa.
Take it away. I'll be on mute.
Okay. So I was just curious, why do you think, you said it was timely, why does TV need the show now?
Well, I think especially when we think about commerce, with everyone shopping and going online, we really don't want to see the industry, the retail industry go under, right? And so, how can we kind of bring some awareness to that industry? And I think the window helps do that. So I think it's timely in that way. And then obviously with the success of Project Runway being on air for, I believe it's 18 seasons, and Shark Tank not far behind with, I believe, 9 or 10 seasons, everyone's so fascinated with style and visual merchandising and what is visual. But I think what is the next iteration of that is beyond the fashion aspect of it. So I think that it's timely in that way, and then it's also timely because here we are holiday season shopping, right? And that's when most attention is really drawn to the fantastic, whimsical kind of expression that is window dressing.
Okay. And you've worked for O Magazine and 17 Magazine, so your resume kind of exudes girl boss, to say the least. So
thank you.
Which of those you're welcome. Which of those experiences do you think has most prepared you for Window Warriors and where you are now in your career overall?
Man, that's a really interesting question. And it's really a toss-up, I think, between the two. I started my career at O right out of college and worked on early issues of O. I think I worked on the third or fourth issue of the magazine. And I definitely credit me starting my career at a place like O Magazine to really helping me understand the importance of content being relational to its audience, right? And so this was a time well before social media and what have you, when people were really drivers of content. But because it was Oprah, we really cared about what consumers thought and consumers felt. And so starting there helped me do that. It really kind of laid the foundation and the groundwork for me to appreciate and value readers as consumers and as individuals and to celebrate them. And then I think 17, for me, was the opportunity to really help create and mold how the magazine and that brand kind of connected to young girls, because it was me who pitched when I was interviewing for that job that I wanted the beauty pages to reflect real girls. So both of them have really kind of made amazing impressions, I think, on my career, because even now with what I do as a speaker, an entrepreneur, a TV host, a personality, is I really use fashion and lifestyle to help women feel enhanced and feel better. And I did both that at Oprah, and I did it also at 17. So I think that they both had amazing impact on the spirit of who I am and my values around confidence. Mm-hmm. But I would probably say my favorite experience was
Okay, thank you. And then nextly, I was wondering, many people say you have a great gift to inspire people to realize their full potential. So what inspires you to inspire and uplift others?
Man, I think really growing up as a young girl from, Newark and the Oranges in New Jersey, I think with my grandmother and my mother especially, who told me I could do anything. And I knowing down the street and around the corner there were people who didn't necessarily feel like they could do anything. But being seated that way, and then going to an all-girls high school, and then going to an all-women's college, where the value systems and the constructs and the ethos and, kind of the design of those places that were around me that taught me that. And then my work that taught me my experience, especially back in Europe and also in Africa, where you saw that everyone didn't necessarily know and believe that they could or didn't have the resources, and so thought that they were canceled out. But drawing on my own experiences, and also my professional kind of experiences that gave me the opportunity to be in front of people, I knew that it had to have me. And so my story, I know, is like other people's story, and I want them to realize and recognize their full potential. And so that's what inspires me to do it, just my own personal experiences and, being around women who were badass. And then wanting to help other women see their badass potential as well.
Okay.